we basically needed to close screen views because Google is deprecating Google Analytics, and if we're offering the alternative, we can't have something in Google Analytics that isn't in Firebase. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Um, so, um,
So there is the issue of the events that they appear differently. So there is like the conversion table that we need to have in mind. Uh, like there,
right.
instead
So
of a
I saw
space
you.
bar,
I saw
then
you write the conversion table. What do you mean by the conversion table? You're talking about the special characters?
yeah, for example, let's say you can't have play VOD. It's like a play underscore 2 VOD because that's the space bar. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that something that we can fix on our end eventually, or that's just the way that because it's very not user friendly?
Yeah, it's very not user friendly. It's true. Um, I mean, we could change how we deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
and we could try to take special characters out of event names, for example. But the problem is that Google and Firebase just doesn't support special characters in event names. So without renaming all of our events, um, it's problematic to deal with.
Okay.
Um, there are product solutions, right? But it's not on the plugin level. So, for example, you guys have probably seen in the event filtering section of configuring analytics plugin. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'll show my screen. So if I go to the plugin configurations, and you see this here, right? Under analytics, you have this third button,
Yeah. To choose what
and
events will be sent out.
right, it would be pretty easy to just add in like a pencil icon here, and then rename the event. So we could say, you know, when sending,
Mm.
uh, Firebase Analytics, don't have a colon. You know what I mean?
And we can do that per
Or
version, theoretically.
right per plugin,
Yeah,
right? So
per plugin
it
is
doesn't
if
mean
you, well, if you're doing it from the plugin gallery, per version if you're adding the plugin through the conventional means.
through the admin. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So I mean that's a potential product solution. Well, I mean, here, I'll do this.
So we're sending all of our events. We're sending everything via Morpheus, and then they also have out of the box events, right? But then,
Right. So they also have their own automatic events, is what they call them.
okay, and then there's a limitation of properties, right? Which they call dimensions
No, they call parameters, I
or
believe.
parameters.
Um, Google, like Google Analytics, called them
Yeah.
dimensions. So yeah, that's right. You have a total of 50 potential custom parameters, and actually, I think it's only 10 text and 10 and 40 numeric. Most of our custom parameters are text. So it will take some thought in terms of what parameters he wants to collect.
So in some places I saw it said 50, in other places I saw it said 25, and then I understand this is per app. So how do I go along and adding those also
So if I click on play vote item, then I could add event parameters.
per account? Per project, right?
per project.
per project inside of the
And
account.
the possible parameters appear here. And you can see we have the same issue with special
Wait,
characters.
so you're saying Eden is saying there are 20.
I know that
There's 25, right? And you said 50. I know about 25 also.
You're talking about different things.
See, it's 50. If you look at this tooltip, you can have up to 10 unique text parameters and 40 unique numeric parameters per project.
Which means what?
50, but only 10 of them are text values, right? So event duration, for example, is a numeric value.
Okay, got
But
it.
Atom feed name is a text value.
This
Right,
is on the
so-
free account. You can buy more, right? If you if you upgrade to
I don't
Spark,
think so.
No, this is Spark. Spark is the free.
if you upgrade,
I don't- Increase database firestore and phone auth hosting test space outbound connections. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think this gives you other things because Firebase, the paid plan is not just the analytics.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're upgrading, like they're giving you analytics for free to hook you, and then they're hoping that you're gonna, start using them for storing data, and I'm not even talking about analytics data. Right?
Yeah, for
like
example,
storing
in
metadata.
TV Go, we needed to upgrade the plan because once you surpass the limit, the quota of events that they allow, they actually block everything. They actually block the original data. You can't access the small amount.
Of analytics data?
No. We needed to. It wasn't analytics. It was
Right. Okay.
the
That makes
storage
more
of,
That was for database hosting, Donna.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
That makes more sense.
not of analytics. No.
Okay, good. You scared me for a second there. That was not my understanding, but that makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I think you guys want to be able to go in here and know how to set up a parameter, and just familiarize yourself with the dashboard. But at the same time, like I'm really of the opinion that we need to be able to support our customers in configuring their plugins, but not in managing their console. Right? Like
I agree,
Firebase-
but
Firebase has documentation for
I think
how to
though
manage the console.
just this basics, we should be able to tell them like how to see their parameters because this is something they had in Google Analytics, and I think it's just like otherwise they'll come to us and say, hey, you're not reporting these events properly anymore. So at least I should know. Even if I can just give them a document saying how they need to do it, I need to know that this is the issue. That it's not that you don't have the properties. This is what you need to do in order to see them.
Sure, and I think if you're talking about how to configure things, I think that's fair. But I don't think that if they're asking, how is lifetime value calculated?
Yeah,
Right,
of course. That's
we should-
something they need to ask
We shouldn't
Google.
be recreating documentation that Firebase has for these things. If they're asking, how do I see show name, right? Like that's something else. That's a custom parameter.
Yeah. What do you mean exactly by custom parameter? Because these are, won't it appear in the list?
It'll appear in the list, but it's a custom parameter. It's just like we have custom events, right? So if I go to these events, app update is not our event, right?
Okay.
This is just something that they're getting from the Google Play Store because they're Google, so they have access to that for when somebody updated the app.
So what is
whereas
a
you have-
custom event and custom parameter then?
Well, they're in the same place, right? Play VOD is also there. We just know that that's our event.
Custom, you mean theirs?
No, custom is ours,
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
right? So theirs are called automatic. Custom is ours.
Okay.
Why does it keep going directly into the event?
Gotcha.
right? And it's the same thing with parameters. There are parameters that they just have automatically. You know, like we're not sending any user properties, but
Admin advertisers.
They have an audiences. You can create an audience, and it's based largely off of their data. Right? New features to the audience builder. Oh, so I'm taking this with you. What is the new feature? Membership duration. You can specify how long users remain in an audience after meeting the audience conditions. Okay, so for example, it could be new user. You don't want someone to be a new user forever. Exclude groups. You can also specify the criteria that remove members from an audience. So you could say free members, and then if they make a purchase, they get excluded.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamic user property conditions. We added dynamic user property conditions, which evaluate the true or false based on the latest state of your user. Okay, so it updates, which is as it should be. So, you know, these are automatic properties, not custom properties.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're not sending gender. They have gender because they're Google and they know who you are.
So if someone says that these aren't reporting properly, it's nothing is coming from our side.
Well, pretty much. Now, as we're doing the code review, I do see that somebody added sending user data to Firebase. This wasn't originally supported. They also added 2 configuration fields for that. And indeed, it looks like they're breaking Google policy. You're not supposed to send any personally identifiable information to Google. And we have this. Yeah, we are. You have that ability anyhow. So in our release, we're going to add a field for sending user data. But if it's checked, it will only send the generic user data. It won't send the PII. But in order for Morpheus to have any PII, you need to send it to Morpheus. And we're not really doing that now anyhow, right? So if you, for example, use Stitcher and you're getting somebody to fill out a survey, we have a web API where you can send that data to Morpheus, and then it would send on to Firebase. But as I understand it, nobody's actually using that web API at the moment to send user data to Morpheus.
Okay. I understand that there is an ability here to, you get the events, the properties, and they can actually customize the names. Is that true? The broadcaster. Like they can say, let's say they're getting play VOD, but they can change it into that it will appear differently as a name that they want. Is that true? Because if so, it can cause us trouble. That's what I want.
No, I don't think it is true. I think that you might have heard about Google Tag Manager, which is different and enables that.
I think I know what it means.
What is the
Go
tag
for
manager?
example to free or paid. Do add, okay, and then text, and then that's what I think you mean, okay?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just read about something like that. That's why I'm asking.
And this is something that you edit, and it counts as one edit that you've done for a text parameter.
No, what does that mean?
זה ה-custom, זה ה-custom event.
נכון.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yoni.
Yeah, that's correct. This is a custom property on a custom event.
Sorry, a property.
Okay, and?
But then you need to add yourself in order to have it reported.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that I know.
סבבה.
Okay.
זה לא מה שפה התכוונת?
No. Okay.
What is markers convention? Remind me.
Conversion.
Conversion. If you mark something as a conversion, then it's basically something that you optimize for, and then in the conversions section, you can see, how many people are meeting this conversion event, what the change is. It just reports here, basically.
Okay.
And sometimes,
It's like favorites.
Yeah, it's like favorites. I mean, it also will show up later, like when we release Firebase Push, which is separate from the current discussion. But when we do, then conversion events can be used in the push. So we'll review that then. I would expect that I can also see it in funnels. That if I add a funnel, that I can. Burst open. No. I would have expected that you would have like the conversion events at the top, because usually in analytics, conversions and funnels are pretty synonymous, right? Like you build funnels to see that users converge to whatever the activity is that you're wanting to optimize for. But I guess it just appears here, and later we'll review it in the Firebase push when we release that.
Yoni, can you move a moment to the events?
Yeah.
So many times, so you have the events that appear. Many accounts that I've gone into, I don't have. You see to the right of count, you have a comparison, and many accounts don't have it. Do you know? So
If they don't set it here.
right. So I know I see here at the top on the right. There's compared to, but is that activated somehow, or how do you make that appear? Do you know?
I didn't do anything to make that appear.
Because I've already gotten this question from Latam, because they're starting to use it, and I have no idea. And like I told them, I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah, they should ask Google.
Okay. Guys, do you have any further questions? And there's probably more that will spring up along the road, because once we'll start really
there
using
is something that I wanted to. Can we enter a Firebase account here? So I'll show the screen and then Yoni will answer.
Yeah.
Any Firebase can be also baby first.
And we'll do another training when we release Firebase as an official plugin. At that point, there'll be more information.
Yeah?
לא, הזמנתי
No, support. Yeah.
אני הזמנתי את עצמי, כדי שאני לא אצטרך לשנות טלפוני זה.
It's still connecting. Oh, this is slow.
סך הכל המחשב שלך לא רוצה להתאבד.
Let's see, what do I have here? No, this, I don't think it's a real one. No.
Daily active users.
You do know you're not sharing the screen, right?
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, because it's irrelevant right now.
Oh.
No.
Okay, I'll do incognito in the meantime, because Eden wants to show us.
It's a question, actually.
Oh, I'm recording the wrong screen, huh? Nice. What's the question? In the meantime, maybe you can ask.
No, I need to demonstrate. That's a support.
Sign in. Support.
תעשה לו גיף כמו ביי.
Yeah, can you see now?
Yeah.
Good.
Gute.
But it's not moving, right?
Gute.
Sorry,
Yeah,
my
for
computer
purchase
is
of
very
process.
slow. Yeah.
No worries.
6 YouTube tabs open. 3 Gmails. 6 Jiras.
Maybe you want to share it from your computer.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Baby first analytics.
Metsuyan.
Great.
Baby first is the best.
Baby shark. All right. Events.
Okay.
Go
Go.
for it.
So basically, when we talk about custom properties, I'm always confused. When we set this, it was with Danny 2 years ago, I think. What we did is that basically we can see, for example, category was clicked. Okay, so when I access the category was clicked parameter,
Good luck.
okay, so basically, if I go down here, no, sorry, it's again the configuration. Wait, perhaps it's a stupid question, but
Yeah, the back button is weird in Firebase.
yeah, definitely.
I think it's because I'm recording, so my computer is slow.
כי המחשב שלך טיל כשאתה לא מצלם.
Don't listen.
Okay, so this is the event name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when I click on category was clicked, I remember that, for example, if I didn't have, okay, this is the parameter, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically for category was click, I needed to add which parameter I want him like to burn, litzrov, right? This is what I need to do because if not, it doesn't have the parameter, it only has the event.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's from scratch.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what you have here is basically, my question is, for example, how do I add here more parameters? Like you have a set here of 9.
But these are the parameters that
Those
exist
are
for
the
these
one who
events.
are sent, or those
No,
are
these-
the one who Google think they are related to that event.
Well, in a way, they're sent, but they're not renderable in the UI until you click add.
Nachon.
Right.
They're part of the
So
we're-
list. Yeah, that's what we send from Morpheus.
But if I need another one which doesn't exist in the list,
And then it means we're not sending it for that event.
okay, so those are sent by Morpheus.
Correct. I mean, there are some that aren't sent. For example, Firebase screen class.
Okay.
We didn't send that.
Okay.
Right. Basically, if it's all lowercase, it's Firebases.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's good to know.
So dynamic link first open would be Firebase.
Correct. Right. Not our event.
Okay. What is account? It's not ours,
Correct. That's not ours.
but it's capital letter.
I didn't. All I said is that if it's all lowercase, it's Firebase, because we have capitalization in ours. I don't know what account is. Click on it.
Oi, la. Or you wanted me to access account. זה לא נכון משהו.
And we can do it this way as well.
Okay.
Click on the right to where it says parameter name.
Parameter name, איפה?
There's a little like blue rectangle on the right. Has no parameters. Does it have any values? Scroll down.
Iran. Watching baby first. יפה.
Yeah. Nope. I have no idea what account is. I would search the Firebase documentation.
טוב.
So yeah, I mean, if it's all lowercase, it's Firebase. Doesn't necessarily mean that if it has capitalization, that it's not Firebase. Just I know that our custom events have capitalizations in them.
So what I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is like a statement, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What we're missing, not necessarily missing, but what there is in Google Analytics, I remember, well, I know, there are 3 drill downs. The event, the label, right?
And category, the action, the label.
Exactly. Action, label, and category. And now you have only the event name and the parameter. You don't have it anymore in Firebase.
Correct. And Firebase is more accurate to the mobile model, right? I mean, every other mobile analytics provider, at least almost every other analytics provider, has this 2-level thing of an event and event parameters.
So that's the main. I think that's the main change.
What's that?
I think that is the big main change in the difference of how this works and how Google Analytics works.
Right. I mean, it's the difference between Google Analytics and every other analytics provider we work with. Morpheus was designed to have, not even Morpheus, our analytics before Morpheus existed was designed to have events and event parameters because that's just the nature of the reality that the data is representing. And what the Google Analytics implementation did is it was forced into having this 3-tier structure. So the logic said, we have a lot of events that kind of have a category in their name, right? VOD item dash play was triggered. VOD item dash set reminder. And so the logic just said, if there's a dash in the event name, just send whatever's before the dash to the category and whatever's after the dash to the action.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody else, you just send the event name, right? And then if there isn't a dash, well, we still have to populate or colon. We still have to populate the category and the action just because that's the way Google Analytics was built. So you just send the whole thing. Play VOD item, right? There's no special characters there. It's just other than a space. So it's just play VOD item as the category and play VOD item as the action because we just had to populate both.
So I think there's less margin for bugs here. At least how I see it.
Well, I mean, I don't really think that created bugs. It just created confusion, right?
Okay.
Because we were forcing a 2-level data model into a 3-level data model.
Yeah, I agree with the statement.
Yeah.
Yoni, is there a list, a Firebase list of all their automatic events?
Yes, there is.
יש לנו מסמך על זה.
You have that?
And he opened also in the video.
But I'll send it right now in the video chat.
There are like, there's not too much. There are not too many.
Alright.
And זה משהו ששלחתי גם ליואב, אם אתה זוכר. זוכר שהוא התלונן?
I remember seeing it, but I wanted it to be, okay.
הנה,
We can put a link. Great, okay.
And we also have, our document of custom events. But just keep in mind that our document of custom events is based on the SDK. So if somebody is doing something in a player which is not the Applicaster player or a login plugin, it's not going to be documented in that Google Sheet that I provided you guys of all of our events. Because the only way that Morpheus will know about it is if the plugin developer, or in certain cases where we have web products, so the web developer, used the APIs and sent the data.
And what about the audio player of the US team?
It's a good question. Is it a plugin?
No. It is? I don't remember. It's a plugin.
Yeah, as far as I know,
Yeah,
The podcast one, yes, I believe it's a plugin,
Yeah,
a React Native
They
plugin.
created a plugin, yeah.
but it appeared in Google Analytics, or at least in your
So then
document.
they're using the APIs, right? If you have a plugin, Morpheus has APIs to receive events and properties and user data and screen views. So it can get the analytics data, but it's up to the plugin developer or the web developer to deliver that data from Morpheus, right? Morpheus can't just intuitively know what's going on in the plugin.
You mean to touch the events, right? Like what is this doing about? Yeah, because that's what they did with the Nilo thing. I mean the live switcher. Sorry.
Yeah, Live Switcher, for example, we see events in Google Analytics. So does that mean that Morpheus is sending it, and it will appear? If it appears in Google Analytics, it means by default it will also appear in Firebase, right?
I mean, I wasn't involved in that particular project. I would say most likely it is possible that they had a bad implementation and they decided to send the data directly to Google Analytics. Right?
Yeah, no. From what I understand, it was sent. The live switcher was intended to send events, but it's not like you said. It doesn't give the properties. That's a problem.
But wait, now all the plugins that were created before Firebase need to adapt to the new and tell in the code to send it to Firebase as well, or is it automatically?
No, if somebody wasn't sending it to Morpheus, they were not following best practices, right? They should not be sending it directly to the analytics provider for this exact reason. You're going to have to do it for every analytics provider. Whereas if you send it to Morpheus, you just do it once. Morpheus will send it along to the analytics provider, and it limits funnel bugs, right? If you're sending it from your plugin to the analytics provider, and we're sending analytics data to the analytics provider, there are going to be small delays in time, and the funnel analysis of what did I do before I went into Stitcher, and then after I got out of Stitcher is going to get all messed up. So you're supposed to be sending the data, and it's in the Zap tech book, how to manage analytics. You're supposed to send it through the client side or web or JS to native APIs.
Okay.
And if you do that, then you don't have to do any new code now that we're on Firebase.
Yeah, makes sense. Great. Anything else? Anyone would want to ask?
I think it's much easier than Google Analytics by mapping. Custom reports, by the way.
Right. Right. In Google Analytics, we create a lot custom reports for almost all our broadcasters, so you can easily filter, live users per hour and stuff like that. And we have secondary dimensions. Can we do the same in Firebase? Can we import custom reports from Google Analytics to Firebase? How would that work?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to import custom reports. I'm not sure that you can even create custom reports. I'll look into that before we release it as a plugin, as own plugins team. I'll double check that. But
and can you hold a secondary dimension? You know what I mean?
For example,
you mean
filter
slice by 2 dimensions.
Yeah, let's say you're filtering an event, and then you're filtering a secondary dimension by dimension by hour, for example.
No, it's not that. You're holding a filter, and then you click on the search box, and then you like search what you want. You understand? For example, if I do a secondary dimension, I'm saying version 971, and then I say, okay, search for all for channel 978.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in the same way, not in a similar UI. You can create a filter for operating systems.
The filter I saw the filters.
Right, so that's what you could do.
But you cannot hold a secondary dimension that will be on every search that you do, because I don't think you even have a search option.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have that Explorer view.
You cannot search for a parameter, right?
Not exactly. In the events, you can
filter. You cannot search
a parameter as something that you want to slice the data by, and you can create a filter. So let's say that you want to only see for operating system 10.0 and up, right? So you can create a filter, operating system 10.0 and up. And then you can go to the event and say, for this item, right? For this item name.
Okay. So it's another
So
logic.
it's just different in terms of UI.
Okay. And it's much more.
Yeah, to my knowledge, there isn't any, custom reports or anything like that.
Okay. Good luck with the show reports. Yay! Brian, no more show reports!
Well, I mean,
I don't have any problem. Tell the regional team.
Yeah, you don't send it. We send it only for Israel team.
they should be able to go into the event and just filter by show name,
Okay.
right? So, I mean, part of the reason that you needed that custom report was because of the crappy way that Google Analytics handled dimensions on the property level, right? It would just concatenate all of them, so you wouldn't see a count.
No, but it's not was just that. It's also how they promoted the live event, because sometimes they promoted it from the navbar, sometimes they promoted it from the hero, and sometimes they promoted it in an EPG.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we did the custom report.
Oh, you mean it came from more than one event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to create a report aggregating from multiple different events.
Woohoo!
Not straight out of Firebase. You could dump it into BigQuery and connect it to Data Studio. But again, that's professional services.
Yay!
All right. So
Can you export a search that you do, or like a filter? Let's say, for example, I look for an event and I want to export that data. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also the result, for example, if you want to share it with the customer, like we did with a custom report. I think I saw it at least. Perhaps I'm mistaken.
I've definitely seen download CSV. I haven't checked like everywhere that it's possible to download. Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking now on a particular event. There's often this like either an icon with an arrow and a straight line below it, or there is a like 3 dots on the top of the screen, and when you click on that, you'll see the ability to download.
drop down.
So,
Yoni, when you say that if you want to show to get a show report results, we need to filter by event name. Will we need, or actually, can we see the event name clear? For example, if it's a Big Brother show, will we see it as a Big Brother show, and then we can filter the results? Depends on it.
So you could have, for example, play VOD item, and then you add the parameter of show name, and it will automatically show the results in a sort of tabular format for like Big Brother 5,000, The Voice 4,000.
Gotcha.
And you can also add a filter for show name equals Big Brother. And then you'll just only see the results for Big Brother.
Or channel ID equals whatever.
Great. Thanks.
Okay. So I think we're good. Makes stuff a bit clearer. Yoni, I think we can probably have an open session of Q&As with for the company, or whenever they want to ask us questions about Firebase before we make a bigger announcement. And great. Okay. Let me know when's a good time for you.
We can schedule a town hall. I would just also let people know that there's going to be another announcement next month when the new version of the new plugin version of Firebase is released.
Yeah. So we can schedule a town hall either for Thursday, I think, or next week. Just an open session like that. And then and then once there's the new announcement, then we'll be open to another session.
Yeah, and then before the new announcement, I'll also do another training with you guys to show you, because at that point we'll know more how we're handling user data, how we're handling screen views.
Yeah, perfect.
And we'll have some more documentation for you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
All right.
See you.
Thanks for your time, Yoni. Really appreciate it.
Sure thing. Hope it was helpful. Reach
Well,
out with any
well.
questions.
Ciao.